Hey, here I am on another Fearless Friday. I got another lick from the video archive this month on my membership section of the website. In case you don't know, I have the BadAss Harmonica website with video lessons, webinars, jam tracks, vintage mics and amps, all other types of blues harmonica stuff. And on this Fearless Friday series, I take one little lick from my live performances somewhere from my archives this month, and I break it down for you. B-flat harp this time. This is just a Hohner crossover, my go-to harp. I am on the box, so this is a B-flat standard diatonic harmonica. This is another lick on the 4-chord. It sounds something like this. This is straight out of the James Cotton style bag. In this live performance, we were playing with Sugar Ray, and we happened to be talking a bunch about James Cotton, and I know I was quoting some James Cotton stuff. I was kind of in this James Cotton zone for this particular thing. But also, I want to bring it up because the way I'm using the 3-draw not only is, of course, perfect for the blues scale, with that 3-draw half-step bend, but perfect for the 4-chord, because that's a note you want to make sure you are bending at least a half-step over the 4-chord for that chord change. The lick, again, sounds like this. I'll play it from the video, and then I'll break it down for you. Okay, so here's the beginning of the lick. So again, it's basically a bunch of the notes from the blues scale, but not using the first note, the root note. It's the 3-draw half-step bend, 4-blow, 4-draw bend, 4-draw natural. Pretty simple. Making sure, importantly, you hit that 3-draw with the half-step bend. Really important, okay? If you're not used to hitting bent notes like that right off the drop of the hat, maybe you're used to kind of dipping down into them or scooping up to them, practice that by itself. You got to practice hitting bent notes in pitch, going right to them dead on. It is a skill that it takes some time to work on and develop, but you can do it. Okay, now the next lick, very typical of James Cotton. I start this on the 5-draw. But the trick here is I don't hit the 4-draw, I hit the 4-draw bend. I don't hit the 4-draw natural at all in this pattern. Okay, so listen to that in context with the lick. See if you can hear that and pinpoint that, and then I'll break it down for you. So it starts with the first part. Then 5-draw, 4-draw bend. Not hitting the 4-draw natural at all. So I'm not dipping down. I'm not doing that. I'm hitting the 5-draw to the 4-draw bend. Right to the 4-blow, again to the 3-draw half-step bend. And it's a little dirty, maybe a little bit of tremolo or vibrato to that, but the important part is it is dirty and it is bent to half-step. Right before I release that, I go to, well, right after I release that, I go to a 4-blow, kind of just like a little chord. And then I go into a trill, the 4-5 draw trill to be specific when I go back to the 1 chord. But that's after this lick. This main part of this lick right here all together sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, slow, and then I'll build up the speed, and you can hear it in context. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And going into that trill, which comes next on the 1 chord. So that blow lets me release some air, also be a little more rhythmic. Throw a chord in there just to kind of keep the pulse and the rhythm going, like the feel of that groove. Right? But keep in mind, that 3-draw is one of the most important parts and one of the most important aspects of this lick, not only just because it gives you that blues scale feel and that dirty bluesy sound, but also because over the 4 chord, you got to be bending that note a half step. And that's why I chose it particularly for this Fearless Friday. And don't forget, each and every month I got new content on the website, new webinars, new jam tracks. I have video lessons for the VIPs, of course a live webinar with VIPs every month, and a whole bunch of other stuff, jam tracks, radio shows, playlists, video playlists, all those things I'll see on the website soon. Hey, in case you didn't know, I'm Dennis Grunling and I run the BadAss Harmonica website. Each and every month I have a membership section which changes with new content, with webinars, lessons, curated playlists, my radio shows, jam tracks to play along with, lots of Q&As on the website, as well as a live VIP Q&A webinar for the VIP members each and every month. A lot of historical information on the classic and legendary blues harp players, vintage gear, and so much more. Every single month this changes. It's not the same old licks and lessons. It helps you think differently, play differently, and practice differently so you can think like a real musician.